by the other boys. But that acceptance meant I had to acquire this almost disgusted view of the feminine. And since we were told that feminine is the opposite of masculine,
honestly, the way I get into a character is through their style. So it was more about who Lily is. That said, I just read the script because I was looking for movies that could be both commercial and speak to the human experience. I had never read a romance novel before, and when asked I realized I only had one on my list, while others had long lists. Popstream presents Justin Baldoni's highly anticipated adaptation of the best-selling novel It Ends With Us, which has ignited one of Hollywood's most explosive controversies in recent months. Rumors of tension between Baldoni and film star Blake Lively had been circulating for weeks, but a surprising new voice, Justin Baldoni's wife, has now entered the scene, offering her perspective and attempting to clarify what truly happened on set, sparking a media frenzy and raising public questions about Lively's legal battle and the motivations behind this blockbuster adaptation. Initially, everything seemed flawless. The project had a passionate fan base, and It Ends With Us was poised to be a moving exploration of love, personal growth, and self-discovery. Baldoni's direction, praised for authenticity and emotional depth that seemed perfectly suited to the story's profound themes, while Lively, celebrated for her charisma, wit, and sophistication, appeared ideal for the leading role. Early buzz was electric, with fans believing Baldoni's vision combined with Lively's star power would honor the source material. However, excitement soon gave way to controversy as tensions reportedly arose over how closely the adaptation should follow the novel's serious tone. Rumors suggested Lively pushed for modern comedic elements and bold fashion-forward styling, while Baldoni advocated for a subtler, emotionally grounded approach. Creative clashes allegedly escalated, with Lively claiming her vision was ignored, though Baldoni strongly refuted this, presenting text messages, behind-the-scenes logs, and meeting transcripts, and even filing a staggering $400 million defamation lawsuit. What began as a clash of personalities and creative preferences became a full-blown media spectacle, with leaked evidence suggesting Lively's courtroom testimony may not align with production communications, and public interest soared as she appeared increasingly defensive, holding urgent strategy sessions with her legal team. Amid the chaos, Baldoni's wife stepped forward, revealing that her influence behind the scenes extended far beyond what the public realized. A steady presence in Justin's projects, she acted as an unofficial consultant, providing guidance on casting, scripts, and production decisions. Supporting him as the legal battle escalated, Baldoni's wife grew increasingly concerned that Blake Lively's version of events was incomplete or misleading, particularly after reviewing court documents in which Lively portrayed key production choices as having been forced upon her, claiming she never wanted comedic elements and was shocked by how drastically the script strayed from the novel's serious tone. Baldoni's wife countered this by recalling instances where Lively had expressed genuine enthusiasm for the lighter scenes, laughing with Justin on set, and reportedly embracing high-fashion wardrobe selections, personally choosing designer pieces to make her character stand out, decisions that contradicted Lively's claims of being sidelined. Sources close to the Baldoni camp emphasized that her testimony could reveal far more than minor contradictions, as she reportedly witnessed meetings where Lively actively suggested comedic rewrites, scene enhancements, and ways to infuse modern energy into the film. If this testimony aligns with the text messages and production logs in Baldoni's possession, it could seriously undermine Lively's credibility, challenging the foundation of her complaint that her creative vision was ignored and demonstrating she was an active collaborator. While it remains uncertain whether Baldoni's wife will testify in court, she has quietly been clarifying matters behind the scenes, speaking with production insiders and correcting misleading narratives. Fans and the public have eagerly dissected every piece of information, debating whether her disclosures prove Lively's accusations are exaggerated or merely reflect the perspective of a spouse protecting her husband's image. With hundreds of millions at stake in the defamation case, scrutiny is intense, highlighting the complexity of film production, where creative choices constantly evolve based on test audiences, director input, and on-set dynamics. Baldoni's wife emphasizes that nuances matter. Lively may have initially supported certain changes but later attempted to frame them as imposed, creating discrepancies between perception and reality. Beyond wardrobe or script details, the story centers on control, influence, and narrative power in Hollywood, where curated public personas can clash with behind-the-scenes realities. Lively, celebrated for charisma and fashion, now faces intense examination as inconsistencies in her account emerge, while Baldoni's wife provides a rare first-hand perspective, strengthening his defense by showing that production decisions were collaborative rather than coercive. Her involvement underscores the often unseen impact of those working behind the scenes, highlighting how creative visions, public image, and legal battles intersect to shape careers and narratives. With meticulous documentation, insider testimony, and production records, Baldoni's defense demonstrates that carefully recorded collaboration can withstand scrutiny, even as the case transforms a creative disagreement into a headline-making legal and media spectacle. For now, Baldoni's wife continues her quiet, influential role, documenting the realities of production, clarifying what truly occurred, and ensuring that court narratives align with actual events, serving as a reminder to Hollywood stars and studios that public image and legal strategy are only part of the equation, while the truth behind the camera ultimately holds the power to redefine perception. As the lawsuit unfolds, the public will continue dissecting every claim, message, and choice, raising the central question: how much of Blake Lively's narrative reflects reality, and how much is shaped to serve personal or professional agendas? The answer could have lasting repercussions for her reputation, career, and legacy. While Justin Baldoni's careful documentation and his wife's testimony may ultimately tilt the scales in this high-profile Hollywood battle, the project itself ended up being picked up and performing very well, underscoring the stakes involved. Early in the process, Baldoni and his team received calls indicating the seriousness of the project, reflecting the anticipation and importance of the story they were bringing to the screen. In an industry driven by public perception, reputations can shift in an instant, and Baldoni's wife has reportedly acknowledged that early script changes during pre-production can appear vastly different after multiple revisions. Lively may have initially been excited about the comedic elements, only to later grow concerned that they might overshadow the novel's emotional depth. However, Baldoni's legal team argues that this does not justify a court narrative that diverges from written or recorded communications. The central question in the lawsuit is whether Lively was truthful about her involvement in the creative process, as text messages praising ideas she later claimed to oppose could be seen as misleading, regardless of evolving perspectives. Credibility is paramount, and a single proven inconsistency could undermine the foundation of her case. Baldoni's wife has also addressed wardrobe controversies, noting that the protagonist's financial struggles in the novel contrast with the high-end designer outfits seen in photos of Lively. According to her, these wardrobe choices were collaborative, influenced by Lively's fashion sense, and never imposed upon her, enhancing the character while respecting the story's arc. Legally, the court will likely focus less on aesthetics and more on inconsistencies between Lively's claims and actual events. If Baldoni's wife can show that Lively actively participated in or led decisions regarding comedic elements, wardrobe, and other creative aspects, it could strongly favor Baldoni. Judges and juries pay close attention to patterns of contradictory statements, especially when they suggest potential fabrication for legal or financial advantage. To the public, the unfolding narrative is a complex puzzle of insider leaks, court documents, and statements from Baldoni's wife, revealing a production that began with great promise but faltered as its director and star clashed over vision and control. If Lively's credibility is successfully challenged, the consequences could extend beyond the courtroom, potentially affecting her personal brand and reshaping public perception of her professionalism. At the center of the story is the book itself, about a young woman named Lily who confronts generational cycles in her life, breaks them, and ends the circular narrative that has inspired intense anticipation, industry scrutiny, and now a high-stakes legal and creative battle.
Him in that moment, seeing, oh wow, like here's the mother of my child, she's really happy. I'm not gonna ruin that for her.
While Justin Baldoni may ultimately prevail in the courtroom, the film's promotional campaign could remain clouded by ongoing controversy, as social media has become a battleground of competing opinions. Some fans rally behind Blake Lively, seeing her as a female creative whose ideas were dismissed by a team that allegedly undervalued her input, while others side with Baldoni, believing the comedic moments and fashion-forward choices were introduced with Lively's full enthusiasm, only for her to backpedal once fan backlash emerged. Online discussions are filled with accounts from individuals claiming to have worked on the film, many echoing Baldoni's wife's perspective, describing Lively as deeply involved in every aspect of production, from wardrobe selections to comedic rewrites. Though Lively's team has dismissed these statements as partial narratives failing to capture her full experience, the significance of an actor's personal brand cannot be understated. Lively's public persona is carefully crafted around elegance, humor, and relatability, making it plausible that she would champion glamorous wardrobes and playful comedic touches, aligning naturally with her image. The issue, however, lies in whether she misrepresented her involvement in official statements or court filings, a discrepancy that Baldoni's wife seeks to clarify. This saga illustrates how quickly a seemingly collaborative creative process can spiral into a legal conflict, as modern filmmaking generates extensive documentation including text messages, emails, voice recordings, and production logs that can become critical evidence. Baldoni's wife, having observed the process firsthand, understands the depth of this documentation, much of which may only have been partially revealed so far. The future remains uncertain. Lively could face a choice between settling to protect her image and limit public scrutiny or proceeding to court, confident in arguing that any enthusiastic messages were casual brainstorming before realizing certain directions were flawed. Industry experts caution that settlement might be the wiser choice, given the staggering sums at stake and unpredictable jury response. Meanwhile, Baldoni's wife continues steadfastly, asserting that the public has been misled. Rarely seeking attention, she has now been thrust into the spotlight to protect her husband's reputation. While some admire her courage, others question her objectivity. Though her account gains credibility when supported by date-stamped text messages and production notes, for fans of the novel It Ends With Us, the adaptation is more than a love story. It is a profound exploration of complex personal experiences, and many fear its legacy could be overshadowed by tabloid drama. Ironically, the book emphasizes breaking harmful cycles and embracing personal truth, a theme mirrored in the unfolding behind-the-scenes conflict. Baldoni's wife's involvement underscores the reality that personal relationships and behind-the-scenes dynamics often form the backbone of major creative projects, and when these relationships falter, the fallout can be enormous. Her account depicts a project that began collaboratively with Lively fully engaged, and according to her, it was only when public opinion shifted that the narrative of Lively being sidelined gained traction. Whether the courts ultimately support this interpretation remains uncertain, but the story highlights the fragile intersection of creativity, public persona, and accountability in high-stakes Hollywood. The allegations are serious, and the financial stakes are sky-high. What began as a personal creative dispute now threatens the film's very future, as lawsuits of this magnitude can halt production or tarnish a completed project with a cloud of suspicion. Studios and investors worry that negative press could impact box office sales or derail award season campaigns, while fans hoping for a faithful adaptation cling to a sliver of hope that the legal battle can be resolved, ideally with one side taking the high road, allow the production to regain footing and still resonate with audiences. History shows that films can weather behind-the-scenes chaos to achieve critical and commercial success, but this requires transparency and compromise, both of which are scarce at this stage. Baldoni's wife stepping into the public eye serves as a stark reminder that no high-profile production is immune to scrutiny. Even those who avoid the limelight can become central figures when they hold crucial insights that could influence a lawsuit. By sharing her perspective, she has forced both Lively's and Baldoni's teams to reevaluate their positions if her statements gain traction. Lively may need to adjust or clarify her claims, but if her testimony is seen as biased or incomplete, it could weaken Baldoni's position. The final outcome may not be decided solely in a courtroom, as the court of public opinion wields immense power, shaping careers and influencing box office results. If audiences perceive Lively as misleading, her future projects could face skepticism, while if the public believes Baldoni's team manipulated facts to cast her as the antagonist, his reputation could be damaged. Once a film promising a faithful adaptation of a beloved novel, It Ends With Us now finds itself under intense scrutiny for all the wrong reasons. Baldoni's wife's revelations are a double-edged sword. Her transparency offers potential clarity about the production's faithfulness to the source material, yet every new leak, contradictory statement, and behind-the-scenes dispute pulls the project further from the heartfelt story it was meant to tell. The saga's complexity grows daily, leaving fans, insiders, and spectators to piece together a fragmented picture of what truly happened on set. The legal drama highlights the responsibilities of actors and directors in collaborative projects, where script adjustments, wardrobe choices, and tonal shifts are rarely unilateral and multiple perspectives shape the final outcome. According to Baldoni's wife, Lively was an active participant who initially embraced comedic rewrites and fashion-forward elements, a point that could be pivotal if discrepancies between her claims and documented communications undermine her credibility in court. The stakes are enormous. Hundreds of millions of dollars are at risk, and the reputations of everyone involved hang in the balance. Public perception remains a critical battleground, with fans and critics dissecting every leak, statement, text message, production log, and insider account. Lively's carefully curated brand, built on elegance, humor, and relatability, faces its most significant test yet. If she misrepresented her participation in creative decisions, the fallout is not just legal, it is a potential branding crisis. Meanwhile, Baldoni's camp has maintained a methodical approach, relying on meticulous documentation and first-hand accounts to substantiate their claims, underscoring how fragile collaborative storytelling can be in Hollywood. High-profile productions are constantly under scrutiny, and the line between creative disagreement and legal dispute can blur rapidly. The truth revealed by Baldoni's wife has the potential to reshape public understanding, influencing how audiences perceive both the adaptation and the individuals involved. The central question remains whether her evidence will dismantle Lively's claims or merely add another twist to an already convoluted situation that is the legal battle unfolds. It Ends With Us sits at a crossroads. Will it overcome the controversy to deliver the emotionally resonant story fans expect, or will it remain overshadowed by a high-profile feud? While the answers will emerge slowly, one certainty stands out: this adaptation has become more than just a film. It is a case study in the intersection of truth, collaboration, and the power of personal narratives in shaping public perception. For now, the production continues to navigate a treacherous landscape where every decision, every message, and every revelation carries the potential to rewrite the story entirely.